This is Jake Pazicki with a data interpretation science question. So this is a little bit of a weird question in that to get this question right, you actually have to look into the text of the data passage. Fortunately, it's a very short paragraph, but it's usually we're looking in like the tables. But this actually is textual data, which happens not very often, but in this case, we have to do it. And just remember, if you ever get confused, if you see this and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I have no idea what to do," always just look back into the passage, either read the paragraph or look at the table data, and the answer's in there somewhere with these science questions. Like more times than not, like 95% of the time, the answer's in there somewhere. You don't really need to know anything outside of the passage. So this question asks us, wind speed varies within the different parts of the hurricane in the figure below, showing a hurricane approaching the east coast of the United States. Which area of the hurricane, A, B, C, or D, could have wind speeds of 100 knots? So if we know that this hurricane has wind speeds of up to 100 knots, right? So this hurricane itself is going to have speeds in it up to 100 knots, and within the hurricane, there's going to be the speed is going to be different in different parts. Which part's going to have the speed that could be up to 100 knots? And if you have outside knowledge, right, if you've learned about hurricanes, you know that the eye of the hurricane is part A that's labeled here, is the most aggressive, fastest part of the hurricane. So if the wind speeds, the fastest speeds are 100 knots, those are going to be in the center location A. But if you don't have that outside knowledge, you can look here in the passage and it says, where hurricane winds are the strongest around the calm center I of the storm. So, and it tells you right there, in the eye, this calm center A, location A, is where we're going to have our fastest winds of up to 100 knots.